Hi, my name is Tay, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about attachment theory explained through the senses. And for this particular video, I'm going to be talking about eye contact and touch specifically. Now, attachment theory was a theory created by a man named John Bowlby and further studied with a woman named Mary Ainsworth. And Mary Ainsworth took it a little bit further in creating 3 attachment styles, which later became 4 attachment styles. Now, for the sake of this video, again, we're just going to take 2 senses. The next video will take another 2 senses. Okay. Now, attachment theory to me is basically a theory based on connection, and it studies the connection between the parent and the child and how that connection impacts the child's development and behavior going forward. Now, to demonstrate this, I have my wonderful little Bella. She will be my little baby, and I'm going to demonstrate how I like to explain attachment theory through the senses. Now, for the first sense I like to talk about is eye contact. Now, when I make eye contact with Bella and Bella makes eye contact with me, a wonderful thing happens. We actually both become flooded with a chemical named oxytocin. Now, oxytocin is that wonderful feel-good chemical that makes us feel like we're in love. So when I'm looking at Bella and she's looking at me, if I'm feeding her, breastfeeding her, bottle feeding her, this is an element where we are actually connecting. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is a good thing, because if I am flooded with oxytocin, then that means I'm more likely to continue bonding with my baby, and that is necessary for her survival. And that's oxytocin. This is why new moms often say, I am so in love with my baby, which is a great thing. Okay. Alrighty. So with eye contact, right, as being really important, we need to think about our mirror neurons, right? Because this is where we can actually teach our baby how to attune to me, but also you can teach your baby how to attune to others. So if I am modeling, right, my emotions through my face, which we kind of do a lot through our eyebrows, then Bella's part of the brain will develop further with that. And as she gets older, she's more likely to be able to attune to other people, to connect with other people, to know what they're feeling in that way and have empathy. So that's pretty important. So one of the things I'd like to think about and wonder, what would happen, or how, if any, disruption happens between me and Bella if I end up getting the brow lift and the Botox, to where my face, right here, is devoid of expression. My face is just basically frozen except for everything down here. Now, as adults, we can see that, okay, you know what, that's really not going to impact me. I know what's going on. But as this connection between my baby and me, what will it do to our connection? Okay, so that's something to think about. How will it impact her development of empathy and attuning to others as she gets older? And will she feel like she's connecting to me? And I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. You'll know what I'm getting at in the second video. All right, so we have eye contact as a first sense. Right? The second sense, you see me touching Bella's little hand here, is touch, and I think touch is very powerful and very needed. I think it's actually food for the soul, it's food for the body, it's food for the mind, it's food for the emotions. So it's really, I think, very imperative to the thriving aspect of your baby. Now, obviously, the touch that I'm speaking about is gentle, kind touch. So this is, the touch that is gentle and kind and loving. I'm not talking about the abusive touch or the aggressive touch or the sexual touch, right? So touch also goes along with me nurturing and comforting my baby. So if my baby cries, I'm nurturing her. I'm making sure that I'm there to nurture her. If she is uncomfortable, I'm changing her diaper. If she is hungry, then I'm feeding her, right? All those things that if Bella needs, right, I am nurturing her in that aspect. Now, what's interesting is that there are some people in some frame of thought that, hey, you know what, just let your baby cry themselves to sleep. Now, in the theory of attachment, if you're doing that on a consistent basis, it's not probably the most conducive, okay? So because what happens with that is that that could disrupt the connection. So let me explain. So little Bella is completely in a state of distress. Let's say she's in the other room in a crib and she's bawling her eyes out, right? The top of her lungs, she's screaming. But I say, well, you know what? I'm just going to let her fall asleep and, cry herself to sleep. Well, what happens to Bella is that her little body is in such a state of distress that she's flooded with these stress hormones. And the problem with that is that, well, there's various problems, but the problem with that is that she doesn't know what to do with them. She can't do anything but go to sleep, right? She can't climb out of her crib and go to mom and dad. She can't say, hey, I need your help, right? All she can do is cry. And what happens with that is that if she's in a state of distress and I'm not coming to her protection or her nurturing, what that's going to tell her is that A, I'm not really there, right, to provide those things when she really needs them. And B, it's going to tell her that she has to self-soothe herself, meaning that she has to figure out a way to take care of her own distress. Now, I don't know about you, but is that fair to this little body, to this little being? I don't think so. So there's obviously different frames of thought with that, but in the theory of attachment, that wouldn't be the best. And also, what happens is that when she becomes inundated with distress and it's on a consistent basis, then this can actually impact her health and well-being going forward, not to mention, again, your connection with your child. Alrighty, so we touched on two senses. So we touched on eye contact, the importance of eye contact, and the importance of touch, and the importance of soothing your child also when she or he is in distress. Okay. Alrighty, so thank you very much for watching. The next two videos, or the next video, we're going to take the other senses. We're going to take, what are we going to take? We are going to take psychic energy or energy, and then we're going to look at tone, voice. Alrighty. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you back here again.